This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
How we speak with one another says a lot about our relationships. Interactions may seem harsh to an outsider that does not understand the nature of our communication process. When there is a close friendship or deep love, sensitivity can often be overlooked. Being insensitive with someone whom you do not like breeds aggression. Conversely, a vocabulary filled with harsh words towards another human being that we care about can only come from a place of love and understanding. It is often easier to convey our feelings to another person in jokes, teasing, and inappropriate words than it is to just come out and say, "I love you." Look past the words and focus on the intention. Toughening another's skin often comes with the softest of hearts. I'm Kevin Donaldson here with Mike Failace, and on this episode of the Suffering Podcast, we welcome back the Hurricane himself.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Oh, you're becoming like a regular.
He is. I don't know if that's a good thing. Is my life that messed up? I don't know.
No, you're like our whack pack.
But I just want to let you know, this is like a little.
We are a whack pack of one.
This is a little drizzle. I'm a little drizzle now.
Oh, we almost got full hurricane?
But please don't bring him out.
We're going to try to bring
Just
him
don't
out.
bring
it's
him
going to
out.
come out tonight.
Please, I've worked so hard.
There is nobody in this world better suited to talk about our subject tonight, and that's the suffering of busting balls, then we're going to try to just emit the hurricane out of you.
No.
Before we get into it, I want to thank our marquee sponsor. That's Toyota of Hackensack. We buy our cars from there because we trust Toyota of Hackensack. So go to toyotaofhackensack.com. Let them find you a car. Now,
Now, where do we even start?
it took a long time to even get going today because everybody's giggling and laughing, and we're getting a
This is
Hoboken
caffeine or
accent.
water?
Oh, you're all jacked
I
up on
actually
Mountain
love
Dew.
it. Yes,
That's
I
why.
do.
We gave Drew a bunch of outtake stuff already before we even started.
Oh, gosh.
I
Here
know
we
there's a
go.
master plan going on here.
So, of course, we get into the social media question. Okay, this week's social media question comes from Mark. And what's the maddest you've ever gotten at one of your friends? Mike, you want to take this one first, or you want to pass it off to the other Mike first?
No, I want to go dirt.
You want to go dirt?
I want to go dirt.
Just wait till another Hoboken person comes on here. We're going to have a little bit of a battle.
You ain't coming in. We can't have two
Why?
Hoboken people.
I have to translate. I'm good with that.
You'd be in the corner, in the little circle in the corner doing this.
I would have to say an ex-family member
Yeah.
got me extremely angry.
I'm assuming you were close with them, friend close with them.
Yes,
Yeah.
very, very friendly.
Yeah.
Very close and very, very angry. I don't want to really discuss any more of it, but
Was it physical angry?
it was.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the worst. That's the worst type because
Yeah.
once you start throwing punches, then it's hard to take those back. You can't unring that
Yeah.
bell.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you want to go third, I'll go second. And actually, this one, I grabbed this one for a very particular reason because it was you. And we had our thing. Okay, so we had gotten close. Mike and I had gotten close. And
Oh.
Mike and I had a falling out. It was over. It was over something stupid, but it hit me at the wrong time. I was in a mood. I really was. I was in a mood. And I got so fucking mad at you. Oh my God, I got so mad at you. And it ended up, and it's a sad thing because we didn't talk for the longest time.
Yeah.
And it sucked. And then, one day, I don't know whether you reached out or I reached out. Or you did it.
I was the go-between.
Man, you are a fucking narcissist.
Mike
I
was
was the
Mike
go-between.
was the go-between.
Mike is a fucking
But
I-
honestly,
when we
before
had-
I wanted to do it, for so
Yeah.
long. I think at the time we were both not in great places.
No,
you know
we
what
were-
I mean?
I
Yeah.
wasn't.
We were having an event at Grand Saloon,
Yeah.
and I called Mike and I told him to show up.
right.
And I told you, I didn't tell you he was going to show up.
You were just, he was
I just
gonna-
wanted to show up because I figured once you guys saw each other, bygones would be bygones, and you guys would work things out.
But the nice thing about it is, and this only comes from a place of love, is when we had that first. I'll tell you where I was. I was in Home Depot, and I'm on the phone with you, and I had to get I don't know, a picture hanger or whatever it was I had to get, and you had started going on I apologize. I'm like, stop, don't worry about it, it's done. It was that easy for me to let it go,
Yeah.
and
I
it wasn't
appreciate it,
because
yeah.
you called. I just had enough. I had enough of not talking to my friend because it sucked. It really did. But that was a real tough one for me. So now I want to bring it to the third one.
It like you said, it is tough. But someone that you really care for and you're friends with, to hold that grudge for so long, that's tough, and I know that was weighing on you too, and that's why
It was.
that's why I wanted Mike to come to that event we were going to have.
Mike and I would talk about it occasionally, and I never I was always mad about the way it went down. I was just mad about it.
Yeah,
I was
Hey,
mad.
but both of you were going through your shit.
I was
at
mad
that
about the
point.
way I reacted to it. In all honesty, and I just really felt bad about the way that it all went down. And I said, you know what? I'm not mad at the guy. I don't know how to repair. You don't know how to repair those things. When you get mad at a friend, somebody who you consider a really dear friend, it's hard to repair that stuff.
We're all alpha males though, because you weren't going to call him and say you were wrong, and he wasn't going to call you and say he was wrong.
True.
So
true.
you needed a go between, and I just happened to be that guy.
You know what? Though more and more as
You're the
like,
bitch in the middle.
Exactly.
my life goes on, I'm becoming more and more open to it. Like you're right. I don't want to hold grudges anymore. I don't want to battle anymore.
I'm 56 years old, man.
Yeah,
I don't have much time left on this earth.
I just
ain't
talked
holding
about
grudges.
this today and yesterday. I'm so tired. Like
Well, so a friend of mine, after we reconciled, a friend of mine from high school who I was really mad at, like my father and brother worked at a place and they got him a job and he ended up stealing a bunch of shit, a bunch of shit. And I found this stuff out and that was it. Like I saw him at a football game once and I followed him because I was going to kick the shit out of him. But that was 30 years ago, like literally 30 years ago. And he just reached out to me on, was it Facebook or Instagram, one of those two. And he's like, this is so-and-so. I'm really sorry about the way things went down. I shouldn't have done it. It turns out he's a cop too, which is even worse.
Go figure, a cop steal.
Yeah, he's down in Florida.
It's like in the academy taking ammo.
Yeah, right. That's the Hoboken Academy. So he reaches out to me on social media and he says, if you don't accept my friend request, I'll understand that you don't want to do anything. And I said, you know what? I accepted his friend request. I'm like, it's okay. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
honestly, it meant a real lot to me.
Yeah.
When we spoke, I was like,
It's like a weight.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it was a relief for the three of us.
Yeah, and it was like I came back. I was like, okay, it's all right.
Because
I let you slide with the busting balls. I let you go a little bit. You know?
Oh no, it's going full bore tonight.
Like I said, I mean, I talk to you every day, and when you and Mike had to fall out, I was talking to Mike every once in a while on the side, and
Oh, you were cheating on me.
pretty much so.
Okay, yeah, he's cheating on
Mike
me.
was my side piece. And it was bothering me that you guys weren't getting along because we had such a tight friendship in the beginning. I mean, we did a lot of work together in the beginning with Dental Development Project. I
Yes.
mean, we were talking every day about that. And Mike was instrumental in getting Dental Development Project started.
That's essential, by the way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Listen,
instrumental.
believe it or not, I mean, you brought me back as well by doing that again. It's things that obviously you both know. You go through tough times, and the clip that you put on the other day about the beast, that's so true.
Yeah.
It's so hard to control, and people don't realize that it's that difficult. It's more difficult to get through something like that than anything else I've ever
And you
done.
never know when a beast is going to rear its ugly head. And sometimes it just comes up. And I think the beast reared itself with you guys all at one time.
At the same time.
Yeah,
I
you were
know,
going
I
through some
remember
shit.
it was
You were going
like-
through
yeah, it
some
was
shit,
like,
and it just came to a head,
Yeah.
and you had no outlet but to take it out on each other.
Right.
Probably.
And I was like, and I know I'm always one. 2 or 3 days later, I'm like, damn. It's like all the times I went like this. Send. Damn.
Michael,
You need an unsend button on the
Shit.
phone,
Like people were telling me, listen, because I'm not, I'm getting better with all this technology. There's an app where you can shut the phone off, and I'm like, please, like, just, I'm like, do it, shut me off. Like,
well, you need a relay send. That's
Oh,
what it is.
yeah,
Like, in order to, I got to send it to Mike. He needs to check it and then send it over. That's what it is. Mike, what do you think?
Again, I think I'm going to say it's with a family member. It was primarily recent, and I almost feel bad about it. Everybody knows the recent domestic issues I just went through. Not domestic violence. Recently went through a divorce, and a lot of people that turn their back on me, and they don't know the real story. And one guy who was a very good friend of mine, I saw him a couple weeks ago, and he wanted to give me a challenge coin, and I told him I didn't want it, and I put it in my pocket. It was like burning a hole in my pocket. I'm like,
You could have put it up here.
I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And I went back to his house. I put it in his mailbox, and I texted him. I said, "You turned your back on me." I said, "I'll never fucking take anything from you again."
You think that'll ever change? It's
Unless I talk to him, it's kind of hard to rebuild that bridge right now, but I'd love to.
Yeah.
Like I said, he was one of my good friends, and it really fucking aggravated the shit out of me. And I just, I had one of those moments. The beast came out.
Yeah. It's we spoke about 2 weeks ago, and I was early in the morning.
Oh, he was on fire, man.
Yeah, my eyes were. I had my ears were hanging out the door, like the windows.
His lip was on the floor.
The lip was all over the lip was driving the steering wheel. I'm like, motherfucker.
He sees the picture Kevin, I got of him on my phone.
Yeah, I'm like, I said, this, and this, and it's right. I'm like, he put something in perspective that when going through all those hard times and you're drowning, you're taking people with you and drowning them as well. And I'm like, but it's frustrating because when you fight so hard, people don't realize the fight.
The thought process behind that is when you're drowning, somebody will try to save you. But if you know anything about, like, if you've ever spoken to a lifeguard, one of the biggest dangers for a lifeguard is getting drowned by somebody who they're trying to save.
Yeah.
So that's it in relationship to somebody, say, like you. I remember you were talking about people turning their back on you and stuff like this, friends of yours. But I said, Mike, you got to understand something. You were drowning, and they did try to save you, but they can't drown themselves to take care of you.
Right. I get it. And it is frustrating. Like, you get through all that, and I'm in such a great place, and it's like, all right, wait, I went to war. It changed me a little bit, but I'm still that guy.
Yeah, but and not keep going back to the beast, but you take like 20 steps forward, and you're doing good. And all of a sudden, you take 2 steps back, and you feel like you're in that fucking hole again.
Right.
Right. You have that one minor setback when the fucking beast rears its ugly head, and now you feel like, oh fuck, why did
how do you put it back in the cage?
Right, and you know what? And even once that's set in stone about what you do, like even going through what I'm going through right now with custody, so forth and so on, my word, my integrity. So it doesn't make a difference now. I can hit the send button, and it's just misperceived, or it's taken one way, it's taken the other.
Well,
I was like real close.
They have past practice.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, exactly. So
we have a saying on the show: it's you can't undo Mickey Mouse.
Listen to me. I was that close today.
I should have brought.
I was that close today with Minnie Mouse. I actually have it in the Jeep right now.
So one of the.
I was so upset today.
One of the best ways that Mike and I broke your balls, and we're here to talk about the suffering of breaking balls, because break this. So it's not all fun, but we showed up at the Hackensack Brewing event
with
we put Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah.
And
I tell you right now, it's like
your girlfriend at that time. Like, I didn't know how it landed because I saw the look on your face.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit! Oh,
we're gonna bring a Mike Hurricane.
No,
DePalma, we had the Mickey Mouse ears on.
That was it was my fate. Like I
remember the girl you were dating at the time didn't really care for that.
What, the Mickey Mouse thing?
Yeah, because she didn't get it.
Well, I think it was she knew the impact, the real impact of what it did to me. Like that buried me.
Yeah.
It didn't depict, like, the most frustrating thing. It didn't depict the good father I am, and you know what I mean. I'm still a great father.
Do you understand why we did that? It was sort of diffuse the situation,
and that's
But
I
you know
think that segues into
segues.
Look
at him! Look at him with the fancy words.
He had his
phlebotomy.
He had his
segue.
He had his
Phlebotomy.
thesaurus out this morning on the way up there.
100%. I do this now instead of Kevin. How's my day gonna be?
But
Siri.
All right, Kev, that does segue.
That's a big word.
I know. Into one of the questions we have on the list: when does humor go too far? Did we take it too far that day?
Well,
or we could have taken it too far. Mike didn't actually know.
So there was some credence to that, because we may have taken it too far. So we developed on something else, on something new. Like Mike and I developed an app. We developed an app. Okay, and I got to show you.
Kevin, shut down now.
So you know how everybody's big into social media and changing your picture, doing filters, make your face look better, and some of them make your face look older or something. So Mike and I developed an app, and hey, Drew, you got that? We did it one time.
Just to
on all three.
To see if we could.
The only one we didn't change is you. Is the only face we didn't change is you.
That's not even normal. Listen, after the 19th, that's got to go now immediately. Holy shit!
So we might have
But
taken
you two guys look great too.
Mike looks like Thanos.
Look at Kevin. At least I got a half a smile on my face.
You know,
Kevin's like the grumpy old fat guy.
Like I just ate somebody.
Look, I got the smile. Like, did I eat Mickey Mouse? Did I chew on his arm last night?
I think this app is.
But wait, I'm working on this.
This
now,
is called the DePalma filter. Okay,
that's actually a cool thing.
So I filtered DePalma on Mike and I just left you.
Mike,
as
that's
DePalma.
not even. Listen to me. That's not even.
Close. I mean, yeah, I got a little under chin here like you do, you know.
Now look at that.
It looks like you're storing nuts for the winter.
You always have to do that. It's got to be. I'm telling you, it's heredity. We discussed that on the side last time. I was telling him.
I understand.
I
understand.
I'm working on it.
What's
I do like the picture though.
Appetite is
hold on.
hereditary?
Hey, can you do that thing or something on there and make it go away?
The thing?
Like you could do it like a filter
The
thing.
Yeah.
Not on here. What do you think this is? Canva?
Just
Kev, could you do the filter thing?
Yeah, do the filter thing.
The filter thing. It's like gefilte fish.
But
do
you know,
the filter thing.
So this is
All right,
how
can you take
this
that
is
down?
how we.
Can you please take that down?
No, let's stand up the whole show.
You see this?
You just made the list.
Check it.
Don't hide it for you. Maybe we'll put some of these books in front of it. These are called books.
Yeah,
They're
got-
things
they
you
got
read.
words in them and letters.
Yeah.
and-
One way.
The one in the front has, we'll give you
Miracles
crayons
in
for it if you
Manhattan.
want.
Yeah, it's a coloring book. That's a kid's coloring
Yeah.
book.
So we
Especially-
brought that in for you.
especially for you. So, but this is how we associate with each other.
Yeah.
This is how we associate with each other. We show each other we care by breaking each other's balls until one of us breaks. Pretty much, they'll say,
But-
"Fucking stop it."
But we all have that mutual respect and understanding. You know, it's funny. Like Pat Elwood, we're going back and forth. He goes, "Man," he goes, "You get it. You know, stuff like that. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Listen, it is what it is. I'm content. You know what I mean?
But it's amazing that you can handle the ball busting the way you do, because I know some of mutual friends and they're rough.
I could dish it out though.
Yeah,
I
know
could
you
dish
can.
it out like the best.
But the minute somebody comes at you serious, that's when you fall. Like if lawyers were to bust your balls constantly, I think you'd do much better in court. Seriously.
That's a conversation we had
Yeah,
before.
I mean,
That's a conversation we had before. I could call Mike a jerk off, and we just laugh about it. You're in a bar and someone calls Mike a jerk off.
Oh,
me and you were going after the
Yeah,
fucking
he's
guy.
going to get the shit
Right.
knocked out.
Friends like that could joke about it,
Right,
but
right,
someone
right,
else
right,
chimes in.
But where do you think that comes from? Like, is that something you think we learned in childhood, how to associate with one another? Because we used to do things say stuff about our mothers. They used to call it the dozens, right?
right. That was a known thing. Like
Your mother's
mother jokes,
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Your mother's back of her neck looks like a pack of hot dogs.
Your mother was so short she used to play handball
My
off the
chin
curb.
looks like a pack of hot dogs. Get it off, please. I'm serious.
The more you say that, he's going to be defiant.
All right, keep it up. That's all. If you want to keep it up, you're probably not going to make it out of here tonight. So that's just
At
simple.
some point, you got to leave
It's
the
just
studio.
Yeah. We were friends.
But I remember some of the shit that we used to, and it was different growing up because we were all of different cultural backgrounds and stuff, and it was Italian kids were the guineas, and the Irish kids were the mix, and the German kids were the krauts, and so forth and so on. But we could call each other that, but you don't call anybody that.
Sure.
Was it
Yeah.
good
No,
answer?
but you know what it is though? It's
True.
I'm so
Next.
I don't know. Maybe I started thinking differently in life. I think people built differently. People perceive things differently. People, it's so out of control, and I'm just
The lack
so
of
tired of it,
The
you know,
lack
like-
of busting balls has given people such thin skin that they can't handle this shit anymore.
What the other thing is
Right.
too, political correctness that's going on in society now is
Killing
ruining
com-
fucking everything.
Killing comedy.
Yeah, it's killing comedy. I mean,
Like we're fat shaming here. Just so you know, that's exactly what we're
that's
doing.
not fat though.
What the hell is that? You got
It
fucking-
was the lighting in here. It wasn't like
Kev, that's
you're
not,
not catching it.
that's not fat
that's just
shaming.
like-
That's fourth chin shaming.
But look at that. Like we don't need to discuss anything. All right.
Look, you
So
got a
get that-
chin. You got a chin inside
If
a
you don't-
chin.
If you don't get that down, this is going to be a big problem here, buddy. Because I got a lot of Mickey Mouse dolls and Goofy dolls.
But Mike,
You're the best. I love you.
But Mike, I mean, you are thinning now. I mean, on the top of your head.
Yes.
But
I am. Do you see my biceps today?
I know, I saw it.
I'm wearing a big shirt.
You know, the funny thing is, a guy. Do you understand how bad that is? A guy that's got no hair just busted your balls back on bald.
You know what that is?
It's called deflection.
Hypocrisy.
Psychological. You want to hear how crazy you're talking right now? I was getting ready for that other episode. I was researching psychological deflection. I swear to God. And then it's hypocrisy. I'm just honestly, I'm so fucking tired of people. I'm so tired. Like, these are the people like, you know what? Mike is drinking heavily right now, and they're doing this. They're doing this, and they're shooting up like this and popping. Like, really? Come on. Come on. Like, stop it.
They're trying to get the rise out of you.
No, but it's not.
It's right there.
It's not
psychological deflection.
Deflection.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Hashtag
It
psychological deflection.
You want me to show you?
No, that's
on
quite
the
all right.
app?
No, it's
I got apps too.
Kevin,
Wait, but listen.
Kevin, what does psychological
yeah, but it's
deflection
the
mean?
bubble guppies app.
Hold on. Wait, listen. I did find that Mickey Mouse syndrome disorder. That was insane. that was a real bad day. But I'm being straight. Not to get off the topic, but it's getting so ridiculous that it's hard to even deal with.
But it's a good point. So tell me why you think that this group of people bothers you so much. But we just showed a very unflattering picture of you and sat here and talked to you about how you're losing your hair. And how you're losing your hair.
Just in case you missed it.
All that stuff.
Just in case you missed it.
But that doesn't bother you.
It doesn't, because we have a mutual respect. We have a mutual friendship. We have a mutual background.
Because here's the thing, it's not being done
right,
out of
and
meanness.
I don't care. And honestly, I wouldn't even care if it was done. You know what I mean? I'm not that type anymore. I'm not. And I know it
there's
can
nothing
devastate
vicious
people.
about it.
Right.
We're not going after each other. Like you said, that
If I start
psychological.
making fun of his boobs, that might be.
No, it's not even.
The psychological deflection or whatever you were calling it before. I call it throwing a scent. If someone feels bad about themselves or they have some kind of insecurity about themselves and you have almost the same insecurity, they're going to start picking on you because of that insecurity. Like if a guy's overweight and he sees another guy that's overweight, he's going to start saying,
well, that's a bully syndrome.
Exactly.
That's a bully syndrome.
It's throwing a scent. They're trying to throw the scent off of themselves and put the scent on someone else.
But there's another way to that too, because I see this with kids on young kids that I coach on a football team, where you have a kid that's a little heavier and he'll start making fun of himself. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to disarm, he's trying to take away your power. He knows he's going to get his balls busted. He doesn't like it. So what he does is he starts making fun of himself so you can't.
Right.
And it's sad because I actually went up to the kid and I said, don't you ever do that again. I better never hear you doing that again.
Right.
Because you are not, you know what, you want to be heavy for the rest of your life? That's on you.
But it could all be disarming the bully.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Because if you're going to break my balls for being bald, and I keep making bald jokes about myself, then your jokes aren't going to be that funny anymore.
It's like, what was
and
that?
they're not going to bother me.
8 Mile, he did that. When he was on stage, he let it out. Like he said
What?
everything about himself.
You don't look like an 8 Mile type of guy.
No, I know. What do you mean?
Like a guy.
I like movies. Like you never saw 8 Mile?
No, I never saw 8 Mile.
For real?
I know he never ran 8 miles.
No.
Who did? Me?
You never did.
Okay. I went to war. I ran. Okay.
You went to war in Iran? We're not fighting a war with Iran.
I ran.
I
No, I'm
ran.
serious. Listen,
Yeah,
if you watch the movie,
Ayatollah Khomeini.
he was
Iran.
having like a battle, and he just let it out. All right, I am this. I am that.
I saw that as no different than having street dance fighting, except with words. That's
just-
like
you
breaking
really-
1 and 2.
You just don't appreciate me. You just really don't.
It's like breaking 1 and 2. Street battle.
It's the point.
Don't fight. Let's wrap it out.
No, it wasn't about that. See, this is the bigger. I tell people this. You're not getting the bigger picture. There's a bigger picture
Mike,
to this.
we are not on your intellectual level. That's
couldn't
you have to explain stuff to us.
You could not be, because it's
No,
very
I-
difficult.
That was
I
like
don't think there's anybody on the planet that's on your mental, psychological level.
Did everybody on the air hear you too?
Damn it. Drive through Hoboken one time. You'll see a bunch of fucking DePalma intellectual levels.
It's a bunch of.
Now we're getting
Hey,
personal.
I got
now
this.
we're getting personal.
We got too many friends.
You
in
know what
Hoboken.
though? Listen,
Did you ever
and they
see-
would understand this. They wouldn't get upset. You know, like someone would say, "Oh man, you guys like, you know, I don't know." We had a conversation. Somebody said, "Hey, you know, you're rough on." Like, we're cool. I'm cool. I don't care.
Like, so believe it or not, Mike, I'm going to let this out because my wife actually said something like, "Wow, you guys are really rough on." She watched the Sound Body, Sound Mind episode.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
goes, you guys are kind of rough on Mike. And I'm like, slow down, slow your roll. Okay, number one, Mike's our friend. Number two, Mike is playing Mike to the nth degree.
Yeah, I could listen. I could. That's where the smartness comes in. I might have it up here, but I can pretty much.
You got it in here.
I could survive. Believe me, I can survive anywhere.
I'm smart, not like everybody says.
I'm smart. That's the name of my fantasy.
I was your older brother, Mikey.
I ain't as stupid as my face looks.
So, what do you think especially as kids, what do you think the psychology is behind it? Even as adults, the psychology behind breaking each other's balls. 'Cause
Fitting in.
You think
Maybe.
so? Maybe it's just nothing but laughter. Who likes to go out and hang out with their friends and just sit there?
Nobody wants to go out and have a bad time.
Right.
And laughter is one of the best times you can have.
And it usually happens in a bar setting or around some sort of imbibing substance.
Yeah.
Usually, because no great story ever started with, "Hey, this one time I had this salad." Yeah.
I went out and had these 3 sodas the other day.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we went out drinking, and next thing we know, DePalma's underwear is getting hauled up a flagpole.
You were there that night?
That would never happen. I'm gonna.
Because you don't wear underwear.
No, I'd probably not be a good outcome for somebody else that did that.
Skid marks.
That I would definitely get myself into some deep crap.
But psychologically, I think it's more of a way of going out and having a good time. It's how we relate to each other. It's how, from a very early age, we were taught to relate to each other. Your father ever bust your balls about like stupid stuff?
Yeah.
When you hit puberty and something,
Yeah.
or you had your first girlfriend. That's how fathers.
Yeah.
But again, it's a tool you teach when people around you, they're like, "Give it back to me. Give it back to me." I used to do this with young cops. I used to do it with young cops coming out of the academy, where I used to sit there and break their balls incessantly until they broke my balls back. Incessantly, yes. That's a big word.
But you know what though? Listen,
Because I wanted them to
if you're
develop
coming
tough skin.
right, if you're coming into that world, that environment, that workplace, you have to have thick skin.
Well, I was
'Cause
going to say
that was a norm. That was a normal thing. You go to roll call.
That's how we could relate it to the law enforcement aspect. I mean, we break balls in law enforcement constantly.
Oof.
The best was when we had new recruits going to the academy. They were always assigned a car to take to the academy.
Pepper spray?
The midnight shift did nothing but fuck with that car. We'd take a 5-gallon bucket and pour it on the driver's seat, so the seat was soaked. He'd get in there the next morning to go up to the academy. His uniform was soaked. We'd put powder in the vents
Oh my God.
and turn it on to high. And as soon as you went in and started up the car, he'd get.
Oh.
It was.
We used to do the pepper
fantastic.
spray.
Oh yeah.
Pepper spray in the vents or just on the floor. And the whole because if you put it on the floor, they're just going to cough. They're going to cough and not figure out why. They can't figure out why I keep coughing. So I mean, but it was my way of toughening the younger guys up because they're gonna see worse on the street.
And almost accepting them into our business.
Absolutely.
But you know what though? Some people took it to another level. You know what I mean? Some
Well,
people
believe me, I know.
and you know what?
Well, how far is too far? That's the point.
Agree. I get it, but you know
Was
what?
that number 8?
And now it's much different. Now it's you know what?
say anything.
I feel offended, or I now it's like, all right, too bad. Now there's consequences. Not that it wasn't back then, but
There was somebody in one of the departments, and I won't say the department, but sued the department because they said all the doorknobs look like boobs. Swear to God.
I
Swear to God.
wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt. Not in this day and age.
I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. And on the reverse of that, there was a female officer who was slapping a male officer's ass, just because she was trying to be one of the guys, which never works. And one of the guys did say something. He says, "Hey, you can't do that." And nothing ever happened to her, which is kind of a double standard because reverse the situation, the guy would have been fired.
Right.
Right. So, it's okay to bust balls, but there is times where people take it way too far. People take it way too far.
Yeah.
It's you got to know the person you're breaking balls with. Like you got it. Like I can't go a stranger on the street and say, "Hey, fatty,
I'm
get
looking
over
for something to send to you, Drew. Leave me alone.
here." That's it. We're only in the middle of a podcast. You can just go on your
I
phone.
told Drew I had a picture for him.
But do you think?
Carry on. I'm listening.
Carrie, who's Carrie?
This better not. This is.
Mike, shut up. Would I do that to you?
Yeah,
Do you think breaking balls is the same between men and women?
absolutely not.
How do you think women are fucking cruel to each other?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I guess because of how we break each other's balls. I don't really see. I wouldn't even be able to tell you how they would.
Well, I know that
You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's like us. Like, hey, you know, you're this and this.
The worst one I ever heard was apparently, and I didn't know this girl, and it's not that I had firsthand knowledge of this, but a girl had lopsided breasts, and they used to call her Loppy, which, you know, if one of us had one testicle, you know, we'd be calling each other one nut, and we would laugh at it. But this it was bad. It was really, really bad for this girl.
But see, now getting back to that, guys break each other's balls all the time. You know, oh, you got a small dick. You got this. Do girls bust each other's chops the way guys do? Like when you get
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't even know how to like determine that. I mean, I don't really like how.
What do you say? Your tits are small?
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
You know?
women just associate differently because
your ass cheek is small. I don't. What the fuck? Like how?
like women will go up to each other and say, I really love you. Can we go out to dinner and talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, men will be like, fuck you.
No, you know what? Then you know what? You're right because it is a little bit like after. It's the aftermath. Like, did you see that motherfucker? She got the balls to like. Us, it's like straight up.
Yeah,
home,
I'll
like,
tell
all
you
right,
exactly
take care.
what's
I'll
on
see you
my-
tomorrow, buddy. Go fuck yourself. All right, buddy. You know,
What
like,
did Smitty say to me the other week? I was getting serious. Like I love the guy dearly, and he was going through sobriety issues, and he's like, "Shit, what the fucking queer?" He calls me a fucking queer.
I mean, see, we do that. We break each other's like it's not like I don't know. That's
yeah.
actually a good question. Like I'm gonna have to like do some research. On that.
Should we tell everybody that you send me like heart emojis and kiss
No,
emojis?
I don't.
And
the kiss,
love and hugs.
I do say love and hugs. I'm not afraid of my man.
But
I'm not afraid.
again, getting back to that, how many times, you know, guys are fucking around and you say, oh, yeah, you're gay. You know,
It doesn't mean
Do
you're
we mean it? No,
homosexual.
it's like,
But
you know, maybe
does-
that goes back to being
Do-
childhood. You know, I
do-
don't know.
girls say to each other, oh, yeah,
Oh, you're a
gay.
lesbian. You're a lesbian.
It's a different form of.
That's a good. That's
And
a
every
really-
guy within a 20-mile radius went, huh? Really?
Is she really?
You are?
Seriously?
I mean, you know, to guys, if you call them gay, that is like, you know, like an insult. If a girl calls another girl gay, then it's like, hey.
Oh, there's so many differences. Women learn to associate people with genuine feeling. Guys learn to emote their feelings in this really just bad behavior. But that's because again, if you go back to traditional roles, men have to protect. Men need to be a little tougher than women because go back a million years, men were hunters. Women took care of the children and you know, they were barefoot and pregnant in the cave. So, seriously, so we had to develop this tough exterior, and I think it's genetic where it carries over in today, where we don't have to go hunt our food, but we still have that need to toughen each other up. I mean, I think that's the psychology behind it.
Like you said, do you think it's part of growing up where, like you were asking if your father broke is that your father trying to tough you now?
So there was
trying to make you more of a man by breaking your balls, so you know what life's all about.
So
you know what I'm saying?
I recently heard a comedian. I don't know if you know who Brad Williams is. He's a little person and he's a comedian. He's funny as hell. And he talks about he goes, my dad. You know, it's easy to get bullied in high school when the biggest bully you ever met in your life was your dad. He goes, but the way his dad used to do it. His dad was a full-size man, muscular athlete, and he used to break his son's balls all the time. You know, and he goes, he actually says it was like a Yoda Luke Skywalker, except reversed. But but what his dad would do is he'd break his balls and he'd say, okay, now give it back to me. Now give it back to me. Because he would teach him how to combat when people were making fun of him. Because at some point, that becomes bullying. And what you can disarm a bully. You know, when do you think when do you think that, or when do you think that
Yeah.
busting balls becomes bullying? And can you legitimately bully your friend?
Saying now or back when
With
we
your
were growing
friends
up?
in general, with your circle of people, when would it become bullying? Would what we put up on the screen be bullying?
Someone could
I mean,
construe
to
that
somebody
as bullying.
else, sure.
Yeah.
But at what point would that become bullying to you? Actually, that's a bad question. At what point would that become bullying to you? Because I don't think you could be bullied.
I no.
You know what?
I don't
If-
mean
if-
it to be. I
If we put that picture up of someone that we didn't know, if Mike wasn't in the middle of that I think would be considered bullying.
Yeah.
If we had a heavy person in here and we blew up our
Right,
faces and
right,
put them
right,
up there,
right.
that would be bullying.
Yeah.
That would be fat shaming.
correct.
You know, but we did it to Mike as
Because he is fat.
a show of love.
No, listen, I get it. You was back there. You were using the face like you did that. It's all
Like,
right.
Mike, you got to understand
Listen,
something.
if do you want me to? I'll go home and get
Mike-
you a pair of my shoes.
Mike,
you can
do you-
wear them.
Do you
can
understand?
wear 'em.
Just let me tell you something.
What?
Me and Kevin have no control over this screen.
Yes.
It's
See,
the
look,
man behind the mirror that's doing all that.
Does he
shit.
know there's a
There's a hurricane brewing.
now it's becoming a beast.
There's a hurricane
See,
brewing.
look, I got a pen in my hand. I'm not.
See?
I can't.
Or should I be silent? It is what it is. Okay.
Touche, Drew.
Touche, Drew. Don't worry about it. You're gonna get a visit tonight.
He's gonna get. Drew's gonna. DePalma's just gonna hover over him.
Hey, Drew, you going to Hoboken for dinner next week?
I'll be like,
Give Mike a call.
Well, have you ever
smell the caffeine in water.
Have you ever have you ever had that happen where somebody's breaking your balls and
And
you
it gets to the point.
you
Yes.
got pissed off? Because in my opinion, if I'm breaking somebody's balls, one of my friends, and they get pissed off, I win because it's a game. It's a game. Have you ever had that happen?
I don't know.
Oh, I
No,
know.
I'm saying like I'm not trying to be like I was. You know, you mentioned about how your father was this and that. My father wasn't. He was straight. He was cool. He never did that. Like the only thing I was taught, if I was in a street fight, my father would take my hand, go ring the father's bell. I'd fight the kid again in the gate. So it wasn't. I don't know. I always had thick skin. And believe it or not, I was that person that when
it's
that
extra thick right here.
no, not back then.
Did he say dick skin?
Not back then.
You had dick skin?
Yeah, dick skin?
Do you, wait, come on. I'm serious. This is
Okay,
serious.
I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
so now they
He lost his train of thought.
hold on a minute. So wait. I did. I lost my train of thought. Hold on a minute.
Mike, how about you? Have you ever gotten pissed off?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have
absolutely. I can't really get into the issue, but there was something going on in a former department I used to work at, and
Ball breaking wise?
No, they were criminal wise.
Oh.
They were going after someone, and I wound up transferring departments, and
So-
one guy kept coming after me. He's
There's a couple definitions. That's a good point. Because
riding me incessantly.
that can be construed as breaking balls. And that's the point. And that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about making fun of people.
Yeah.
Making fun of our friends, amongst
Yeah.
friends.
And we almost, I mean, he was a lot bigger than me too. And I said, listen, motherfucker, you don't fucking stop. I said, we're going to go outside right now. I said, you may kick my ass, but you're going to know you're in a fucking fight. Fucking cut the shit right now. I was fucking livid.
And that was like that's
Because
why
it was
that's
personal
why
to me.
people sometimes and that's why I became much easier. Like I was that person. Like you know what, it's gonna be a fucking problem.
Listen, if they hone in on something that's personal to you and keep fucking going,
Yeah,
that's when ball breaking becomes overboard.
yeah.
Like I if you have some sort of tragedy going on in your life, and I'm just keep hammering you
Yeah.
and hammering you. That's I think that's when it's gone too far.
Oh, without doubt. And like I said, and this guy went too far, and I fucking lost it. I lost it.
But I discussed actually. My daughter was telling me something similar to this the other day, and we were discussing it. And it's great. She's she's 11, but she's very opinionated. It's great to listen to her, and it's same incident where a friend and was not nice or whatever it was, and I sometimes I always say you really never know what's going on in that person's
Exactly.
life. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Somebody can make you extremely angry, extremely mad, but you never really know what's on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like sometimes I guess it's compassion. You know what I mean? You know, besides like what we do and what we did, you know, it's, you know, I've learned, you know, more compassion and, you know, just, you know, being that robotic and I'm a cop, I'm a soldier. Let's, you know,
You never know what's going through someone's mind.
100%.
You know, you never know what they're thinking. Something you may pick at is something that is brewing in their mind, and it's something that's weighing on them. Now, all of a sudden, you start honing in on that and start picking on them about that. It may fucking snap.
Well, there's two things about breaking balls. Number one, you know, if I was having a bad day and then I go around my friends and they start breaking my balls a little bit, not about whatever's pissing me off elsewhere, then I start feeling better.
But if they pissed you off about what was going on elsewhere,
That would be a problem.
then
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
That would be a big problem. But, you know, thick skin's a gift.
Yeah.
It is really, really a gift, and I think it's something that's lacking.
It's thick skin.
Thick skin.
Mike.
Thick skin.
Yeah, not thick
Thick
skin.
skin. Thick skin.
Thick skin.
Didn't you ever-
Skin.
So at your heaviest, your pants were tighter than dick skin.
That's actually a pretty decent thing. What was the other word you said before? I forgot that.
Phlebotomy?
No, that was, you said another one. It was hardcore. I don't even. It'll come. Let's get back to the.
Let's get
back to the point.
And now
at hand
back to
here.
our
Let's-
show.
Back to.
You know where we should be having this discussion?
When are we going to start the show? What's the
Yeah,
show
no,
about?
What?
We should be having this discussion in the Grand Saloon. They're one of our sponsors, 940 Van Houten Avenue. We could sit there and laugh all night, eat the greatest food in the world, and be taken care of by Nick and his crew over there. They're awesome. So go visit the Grand Saloon. Go to thegrandsaloon.com. That's grand with an E. Just
You know
so
what? We may be able to do that because we may be having a remote show from there coming up.
Coming up on our 2-year anniversary. We've been
Yeah.
doing this show for 2 years come December.
So
Sweet.
we may be going to the Grand Saloon doing a. We're still, you know, it's in the works right now, but we may.
You know, Nick's a big cigar guy, too.
Yeah.
We got to introduce him to Frontline Cigars.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they all know each other in that sense.
That's some community right there.
But if you go, you know, so Frontline Cigars also takes care of it. You go to frontlinecigars.com and you put in TSP, you get a 15% discount. I don't know if you're a cigar smoker. You should be.
You telling me about the internet and everything and .com thing? Okay. Hold on. Let me get right on it.
Go on,
Kevin.
Go on dis.com.
You guys are gonna really appreciate the essence of my this and that.
You know, when you go for
D's
what
and
do you go-
those and this and that.
whatever brain, you know,
Yeah, I've left.
electrotherapy, he's going to come in and he's like, "Hello, I'm Mike DePalma. How are you?"
Hi, this is Mike DePalma.
This is Mike DePalma.
He'll be like Kramer from Seinfeld when he tries to act smart. You know?
Every letter is going to be enunciated.
You know, I
That's
guess,
pronounced.
I don't
Just
know.
so you
yeah,
know.
pronounced enunciate is
That's
pronounced. Mike.
Just things are confused.
It's not a graduation rite. Mike DePalma is enunciating today.
Come on, let's get back to the show, will you?
Hey, Mike,
Please.
I ran into a friend of yours the other day. Friend of ours, Nikki Burke.
Where?
I don't know if I could tell you. It was a
He's retired. Yeah, he's retired. Yeah.
it was a Hoboken PBA barbecue
You weren't invited.
that you probably weren't invited to.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Everybody's there. Everybody there. Their name was Comp.
Oh, Comp.
Hey Comp. Hey Comp. Hey Comp. Hey Comp. Mike, this is Comp. Mike, this is Comp.
Hey,
Mike,
Comp.
this is Comp.
That's a real.
Well, the thought process
Famous
in Hoboken might be a
saying.
little skewed, so they can't bust each other's balls. Instead of calling them dickhead or jerk off or something, it's just comp.
Yeah, it's just Comp. It's like brother. Hey, what's up, Comp?
Well, Comp
And
is short
here's
for
right.
short
There's
for
not-
But here's
compadre,
the real
right?
thing.
There's
Because
not even a Latin base to that.
you forget names.
No, it's
So
Italian.
everybody's a
It's-
Comp. It's Italian, like compadre.
Compadre, short for compadre.
Compadre, I know it.
Did you get that on? I just actually educated Kevin Donaldson with
Actually,
compadre.
Actually, in Italian, it's compare.
I don't. I'm just. You have to just
Compadre,
go. See, you have to
compadre is
correct
more
me.
Spanish.
You have to correct me.
Yeah,
my
I'm
moment,
sorry.
My
It's
moment.
the truth.
It's Costa Rican.
It's Costa
No, everybody does comp. Yeah, it is. It's a
Comp.
historical.
I don't know, man. That don't sound right. You got some comp
So,
on your.
everybody
you got some
says
comp
it.
on your chin.
There's another one. Shim.
Shim. I know what a shim is.
Shim's
Yeah, it's
like
the
a
thing you put under the.
Nah,
wood.
it's like,
Oh,
man,
no.
he's a shim. Like, he's, I don't know. It's like mangle. He's just fucked up. You're a shim.
See, and that's not a good word here because a lot of people call shim like a he, she, a shim. You know, and
we got one of our family is a transgender.
So don't say shim here
we can
anymore.
hook you up. Ashley is single and ready to mingle.
good.
Ashley's cool as hell, man.
Ashley's cool.
I'm
And her
I'm-
brother Mark and his
I'm-
husband,
and Nick.
his soon-to-be husband Nick. Awesome people.
I'm good, comp. I'm good.
I'm
Stop
good,
talking.
Shim.
I'm good.
So that's immediately where your mind goes
Do you
when
know
we start
you know
talking
how
about
long it's
that.
gonna
You
take
took
me
to come.
to decompress tonight? Holding his beast in, like it's. I'm gonna have to rewatch that clip you put up.
Over and over and
Yeah.
over and over.
That was a
again.
good one too.
He's just gonna watch it on repeat like this, like some sort of psychopath at 2 in the morning.
Tomorrow I'll be like, Mike, you did it tonight. You really did it.
His steering wheel's gonna be like a triangle by the time he gets home. He's gonna be beating it up the whole night.
No, so
Let's reel this back in, please.
you've broken people's balls.
Yeah.
I know. I've seen it. I've heard it.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt bad for it? You ever felt bad about doing it?
Well, if it affected somebody and I knew it did, I would. Sometimes I guess you don't realize.
You
know?
get caught in a moment.
Right. 100%. I'm not that, hey, it's this, I usually 1 or 2 days I'll be like, damn.
Is it like, do you ever give someone a call and say, really sorry about that, man?
100%. I'm always open to. I'll say I'm sorry.
We're just having fun.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm very.
I've done that before. Hey, listen, if you were offended the other night, I'm sorry. We were just having fun.
Next time I'll wear my pants. Well, Mike has firsthand experience of the line of not breaking balls, but making jokes against somebody he doesn't really know at the inappropriate times. So when we had Clark Fredericks in here, and oh, dude, it was like a fart in church.
That was
it
an
was
insane
so
story.
bad.
Whoa.
So Mike, it's getting tight in here. Like it's getting tense. And Mike,
And now you know how I am. When it gets tense, I'll generally throw a joke out there to lighten the mood.
Yeah.
and Mike tries to throw in this thing of humor.
Oh,
I'm
he
telling you.
laughed at it. He called me the next day and said it was hysterical.
But
At that point, though.
the optics on camera, where I was like, oh, I didn't know what to do. He talks about the Boy Scout lawsuit.
He was
The Boy
talking
Scout-
about the Boy
he's
Scout
like,
lawsuit.
He looks at me and goes, wasn't that one you were involved in too? And he goes, this is my drama here, Yeah, it's so
There's another one where he was talking
story.
about grooming.
Yeah.
And I threw in a joke there, and he goes, Jesus Christ, I'm talking about grooming, and you're going to drop a joke in?
Well, I just talked to him the other night, and I did the same thing you did. He goes, yeah, and I want to find a new job. And I said, I heard you can get Boy Scout leader.
Oh.
And he goes,
Yeah, and you
I gotta
called me
admit,
the
you
bad guy.
get raw.
He does, doesn't he?
You get raw.
And he blames me.
Yeah, no, I have to like, you want to be honest here. You get
I need
raw.
examples.
You just did one.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was.
And then Arthur Dell,
Otta.
Oh yeah, Otta.
Otta?
right?
Otta.
Arthur.
Is that the movie?
The
That was the movie with
And auteur is a filmmaker.
Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli. Arthur.
And auteur is a filmmaker, just so you know.
Arthur.
Yeah, I did.
Yes,
I did.
you
say-
did.
yes,
You
I
did. In the Artie Dell episode, you
Yes, I
did.
did.
Yeah, you get raw.
Yeah. He said
I
that.
said maybe it was the jeans you were wearing or something because some guy hit on him in a
Yeah,
bus
yeah.
as he's getting raped by this other kid.
And you also said that you knew some priests back in the day that
oh yeah, because I didn't tell.
fondled little,
I'm
and
still
you
pissed
felt
about that.
bad because they never touched you.
I said, "What am I unattractive?"
Maybe it was the jeans you were wearing. I was so offended by that myself.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell.
I don't condone
But
this.
that's an example. And at the time, I know Artie pretty well now.
Yeah.
But at the time, I didn't know him. Mike didn't know Clark. And you're trying to relieve tension because that's how you relate to people you're friendly with.
Yeah.
And you misstep. And then afterwards, you just sort of look at yourself like, I can't believe I just fucking
Well,
said
that's what
that.
we were saying before about the cell phones. There's no unsend button on there.
Yeah.
After you say it, it's out there. It's, now it's recorded.
Mm.
If we weren't recording, I could say something to you and then just deny ever saying it. But now it's recorded, and believe me, Andrew will not let any of that go.
So how do you go about fixing that when you misstep like that? You misstep with somebody who you don't know real well. You try to land a joke to break the tension.
Some people be like, oh, fuck, who gives it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was me, I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. You know what I mean? I don't, and then you got to fix it with inside yourself. You got to just, have that in the back of your mind. Next time you kind of never know who you're talking to, what's behind that person, what's going on in that person's mind.
But see, the common things with guys, and we say it all the time, is I wouldn't break your balls if I didn't care about you.
That's us.
Yeah.
That's us. Yeah.
I wouldn't talk
and that's
to
the
you.
way it was in a PD. If you didn't have these old timers talking to you,
Yeah.
You were not well liked.
If they didn't break your balls, that means you weren't accepted.
Right.
You know, so it's like a rite of passage for guys, you know, to be accepted into the group, to have your balls broken.
Yeah.
But now, again, getting back to what we were saying before, do women do that? Is a rite of passage for women?
I think just women. Women are crueler in gen.
I
They're
think
they're
women-
gentler, but they're much more cruel.
I think women get together and break guys' balls amongst each other instead of breaking each other's balls.
I agree.
You know, maybe they'll bust their one girl will bust her husband's or her friend's husband's balls or her friend's boyfriend's balls or something. You know, to the woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I can't picture women sitting around a table like this doing what we're doing.
I don't know about you guys, but I appreciate it when people give it back to me.
100%.
Oh yeah.
I'll respect you more if you tell me like it is. Even if you mess up, hey Mike, that was all right. Listen, how do we fix this? How like when we spoke, I was like, how do we fix this? But I think it was a mutual thing. It was like, all right, it's over.
No. If
breaking balls.
If you were breaking somebody's balls, and if they're not giving it back to you, number one, it's no fun.
Right.
All right. But you respect them so much more when they give it back to you.
Right.
I do anyway. Except I'll usually come at them like I'll break their balls, and then they'll come at me with one. I'm like, dude, that's really fucked up. Kind of hurt my feelings.
But then you gotta know when to stop. You know what I mean? It could go.
We all know those people who don't know when to stop.
Right.
Okay.
And that's nowadays, it's much more intense and scary. Like, you know, for my children, whatever it is with social media, so forth and so on, it's that's out there.
But you know, we've all, the three of us have all gone through some shit.
The tree.
The three of us.
The three of us.
I'm
The three of us.
definitely see what's happening. You love me.
See,
You really do.
not really.
We wouldn't talk to you if we
I'm
didn't.
just now you're just starting to talk like me.
No, actually, the guest we had bailed out tonight, so we had to go with Mike tonight.
See, that's not.
No, but the three of us have all gone through some shit, right? And the way we got through it was breaking balls and through laughter. So, I mean, breaking balls really does have a good side to it.
Breaking balls is a gift.
Yeah.
It really is a gift in so many different ways. It brings back to a place of normalcy. It allows that other person, especially if they're anything like me or the people in this room here, it allows the other people to know, okay, well, this guy likes me. He's breaking my balls.
Yeah.
And it could knock you down a peg when you think you're getting too fucking big for your britches. Britches or pants, Mike. When you think you're getting too big for your britches, you know, they knock you down a couple pegs. And
BRITCHES.
You know.
Mike's getting too big for his bitches.
That's just not right.
Yeah, I stepped over the line again. Sorry.
Yeah, this is getting a little.
Sorry.
Can either of you remember your pinnacle of breaking somebody's balls? That one thing that you said to somebody where they just had nothing they wanted to, but they just had nothing to return. That one time.
I know mine.
What do you got?
We had a guy that he used to fuck up all the time. In law enforcement, he used to fuck up all the time. And we used to call it, you know, guy fucks up. Yeah, he stepped on his dick. Right? So the guy was talking one day, and he's like, yeah, I got a big dick. And I said, listen, I don't know if your dick is the biggest, but I know it's the flattest. You stepped on it so many fucking times. Everybody busted out laughing. The guy wanted to kick my fucking ass.
I'll be third on this one.
Be third?
I'll be third.
You know what? I can. You mean breaking balls? Sometimes I would just say things and not realize. You know what I mean? Can you imagine not realize what I was?
Sometimes we all go over
This
the
guy's
line.
breaking balls.
Some of my best work.
Come on, I'm being serious right now. You know, I'm gonna give you a picture when I was in my military uniform. You're gonna put that up there next.
Listen, I was going through my phone trying to get pictures to send to him to put up there, but he won't do it. I got Academy pictures with us.
Okay,
I got a
yeah.
picture of you marching in a parade.
I could, yeah. It's not. Wait, I got to get back to this. I don't want to lose a train. It was actually
Don't you lose your train of thought.
a good friend of mine, and I didn't realize he just got a lot of work on his teeth, and I we always break balls, whatever, and I just came right out in front of. I was like, damn, look at those fucking choppers, And I didn't realize like it kind of devastated him, And I was like, oh my God. But sometimes I don't realize because you want to think that everybody's the same as us, you know what I mean? But they're not, People take it the wrong way.
I got my son really good. So there was a reel. It was either a reel or a TikTok thing where the music's playing in the background and it's I just took a penis in my butt. But so
you did that to your son so many times and you used to post that shit.
Well, no, I did it to him once, but I just used to keep posting it because it's me and him sitting there. I'm bobbing my head, and all of a sudden the words come out, and he just goes, "Oh, poor kid he was like 11 years old at the time, or maybe he was 10," and I know I embarrassed the hell out of him by doing that.
And to make things right, you posted it on social media so everybody saw it.
Of course. I said, all right, now give it back to me. But I do teach my kids this lesson. Don't ever do something to somebody you're not willing to have done right back to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a rule of ball breaking.
Right. If I'm going to break your balls, I better be prepared to get my balls broken.
If there's any ball breaking guidelines, that's got to be like number one.
Yeah, I think that's the only one.
If you're going to give it, take it.
Yeah. And, I mean, even there's nothing sacred. Is there anything sacred in ball busting?
No. Well, even back in the day, the mother jokes. Everybody used to get offended by
not my
jokes.
Mother.
I was going to say, do mother jokes really offend you?
Like if somebody calls you...
I know you're not talking specifically about my mother. It's really just a word, not a person.
Your mother wears combat.
Yeah,
exactly. It was just like,
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Oh,
well,
my goodness. Let me just forget it.
Oh, my God.
I'm devastated.
Why'd you fight him? He said, Mom, he said you wear combat boots.
I used to say, so does your mother. Like, what? Who cares?
So, we're coming to the end of this thing now.
Thank God.
No, come on.
You want to put the picture back up?
No.
Okay. So we're coming to the end of this thing right now, and as usual, at the end of this journey of breaking each other's balls, you've spent your life in Hoboken. I know how Hoboken people talk to each other. It's like a different.
There's a lot of ball
totally
breaking,
different
There's
language.
a lot of ball breaking.
What do you think it's taught you?
I thick skin. You learn thick skin.
Again, that dick skin stuff. I don't understand that.
Thick skin. I mean, it also teaches you like compassion, to always realize sometimes, you could take it a little further than what it's supposed to be, because, there's consequences. People do crazy things,
Every I don't want to say every case. Every person's different.
Yeah.
You got to know your limits when it comes to ball breaking.
Yeah.
You got to be able to read a person and see if it's really starting to get to them.
Yeah.
And then you got to,
we're all built different.
Call off the dogs.
We're all, how
we could sit here.
We
could sit here and bust balls all night. But
All
you
night.
get someone who's really not a ball breaker. You got to learn to reel it in a little bit. And
Yeah, I guess so. You got to know your audience.
yeah,
You
exactly.
got to know your audience. Mike, what do you think it's taught you?
Well, that was it, really. You got to know your limits. You see that's really starting to get to someone before ball breaking really does become bullying. Everybody can't take that ball breaking. And I know a lot of people who you just know not to break their balls because they're not going to be able to take it. But again, you have friends where you could just walk in and say, "What's up, fuck nuts?" And that's your friend.
Yeah.
But if you walked into a bar and went up to the bartender
Now,
and
if
said,
they
"Hey,
said-
fuck nuts,"
They said nuckfuts. That's getting
Nuck and
we're
futz?
getting nuckfut. That's now you're getting
Nuck
down
futz?
and dirty. Nuckfuts. You just take it and reverse it. I gotta start teaching you stuff tonight.
it's Hobo-
I speak
Hoboken-
English. I'm
No,
sorry.
Hobokenese.
It's just like, hey, nuckfuts. You don't get it.
Hey, nut fucks.
I get it.
Ah.
I get it. I just don't know where it came from. Came from Mars,
Hoboken.
where your
Come
fucking
on.
brain
Came from
You
Hoboken.
know where it came from?
Oh God! Next question I'm going to ask is: do you think people are breaking each other on Mars? But yeah, that's. But anyway, what it's taught me is it's real simple. Is thick skin is absolutely the biggest gift you can give to anybody, and have yourself. Because without thick skin, everything's going to offend you. Everything's going to affect you, and you're not going to be able to move forward or get anywhere in life. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. So this one was
right.
kind of fun.
Yeah, we could do it again next week if you want.
Well, I got plenty of stories.
Well, listen, if our guest bails out for next week again, we'll call you again because you're like our go-to guy.
Listen, all right.
I like Mike on the phone, on the show. He's becoming like this regular.
Yeah.
Just he's like crazy Mike.
Well, next time we'll talk.
I'm conservative and caring, Mike.
Is that how you're rebranding yourself?
Somebody actually called me. Had somebody Midnight Mike. Like I would turn at midnight. Like after a night of like pounding, I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Well, that's
we could bring him in one night and talk about the whole ammo thing.
Stealing of ammo.
I never did that.
I don't know what.
Not that they know of.
I never.
Statute of limitations is probably long over.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, the suffering of breaking balls. And as always, we're going to talk about all the stuff that we learned here. First thing I learned is DePalma's got dick skin around his jaw.
You see how to go there. I was trying to agree.
See, now that's
going
not
too
dick
far. Skin. If I had dick skin, it wouldn't hang like that.
His neck should get circumcised.
You know what? I'm upset. I'm really.
The next thing is don't say anything to anybody or do anything to anybody you're not unwilling to have done to yourself. Busting balls has to come from love. Thick skin is a gift, but most importantly, if we like you, prepare yourself because you're going to get your balls busted. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast. Don't forget to check out Popple. Go to popple.com, put in the code TSP20 for a 20% discount.
What about Mike's plugs? Does he have any plugs? Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, hair plugs.
I don't have hair plugs.
Yeah.
Butt plugs? Hair plugs?
Popple. It's a digital business card. So all you do, you can either swipe it on their phone or there's a QR code and all your information goes in there and it's a nice little conversation piece. I use Popple constantly. So if I'm going places, I'll give them all my information. It's got all my social media, all the websites, YouTube, everything.
It replaces business cards now.
Yeah, because on
it's a digital business card.
On a business card, your title's going to change. Well, guess what? You just go into the app, you change your title, you're done. It's a wonderful thing.
Mike ain't getting promoted anytime soon, so.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow the Suffering Podcast on Instagram at the Suffering Podcast. Follow Mike at Mike_Failace. Follow me at Real Kevin Donaldson. Do you want to give out your social media?
Don't follow me.
Don't.
You really don't want to follow me.
You are Hurricane Mike on TikTok.
But I don't have any. I don't put them up. See, listen, if you don't understand this shirt tonight, I'm probably going to be in court on Monday. This was meant towards me. This is very erratic and inappropriate.
The cops follow him enough. He doesn't need anybody else following him.
No.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast. We'll see you on the next episode.